Imagine a technology that can do 600 to 700 G-forces.
600 G-forces, no problem.
That can fly at 13,000 miles an hour.
Again, piece of cake.
That it can evade radar.
A magnetohydrodynamic craft patent filed in 1964.
Listen to that kid. He is trying so hard to educate you without talking down to you. Talking in such a way that he assumes that you should be able to understand this. God bless him.
Was for a heavier-than-air flying craft surrounded by a plasma. A plasma sphere around an MHD craft will make that craft appear as a glowing ball of light. That same plasma absorbs radio waves, and thus makes the craft invisible to radar. Does this sound like any UFO sighting that you've ever heard of before?
And that can fly through air and water and possibly space.
Again, piece of cake.
And oh, by the way, has no obvious signs of propulsion, no wings, no control surfaces, and yet still can defy the natural effects of Earth's gravity. That's precisely what we're seeing.
Does mankind possess UFO technology? The answer is a resounding yes. Contained in these books are over 100 years of proof from the Patent Office that man has possessed the ability to create the objects seen in the sky that people have called UFOs.
And records and analyzed videos like this. A Navy aircrew struggles to lock onto a fast-moving object off the U.S. Atlantic coast in 2015.
In the science of rocketry, we learn that to achieve a low Earth orbit, a speed of 17,000 miles per hour must be attained. To escape the Earth from the ground, a speed of 24,200 miles per hour must be attained. Would you believe that a plasma propulsion patent filed in 1959 had thrust 60 times more powerful than chemical rockets? You can see this one for yourself in Volume 3, Plasma Propulsion, of the UFO How-To series.
Plasma thrusters are so incredibly powerful that NASA is contemplating using them to get to Mars. They have openly advertised that it would only take 39 days to get to Mars using plasma thrusters with their VASIMR project.
Recently released images may not convince UFO skeptics, but the Pentagon admits it doesn't know what in the world
Lies.
This is. Or this.
More lies!
Or this.
Even more lies! Listen to the government frontman Tom Rogan continue to spin the same hackneyed lie that has been spoken for the last 60 years. Only now with a slightly different spin. But a lie is still a lie, no matter how much they try to dress it up with hints of honesty.
Tom Rogan is a Washington Examiner columnist, well-versed in the subject. He joins us tonight. Tom, what do you think we're looking at here?
Well, I think we may well be looking at a true unknown, which is to say intelligently controlled machinery that is not understood to be in the possession of the United States, China, or Russia.
Not understood to be in the possession of the United States, China, or Russia.
The fact is, we do have this technology. And the fact is that other people on our planet in other nations have this technology. Now, I released the UFO How-To books back in 2007. 2007, 14 long years ago. And I have been crusading ever since, trying to get the word out to people. We have this technology. How can I prove that we have it? How can I prove that it exists? In the simplest place possible. The archives of the U.S. government. Nothing other than the U.S. Patent Office and the patent offices of other countries around the world. Now, the earliest electrogravitic craft that I had been able to find was 1929. A gentleman of Navasquez was the name. Now, Navasquez was a student of Tesla, as was Thomas Townsend Brown. Thomas Townsend Brown figured out Nikola Tesla's secret. That is, that high-powered electrical bursts into capacitors caused those capacitors to lurch, into the north. They lurch in the direction of the North Pole of those capacitors. Okay, what Brown didn't know, he did know that the bigger the dielectric capacity, the greater the effect. But what he didn't know and didn't realize was that it took materials made with odd nuclear spin values, things like barium titanate and tantalum, he assumed that things with higher dielectric values produced greater effect. But it would actually be the scientist who worked for GE Aerospace Reentry Systems to correct this understanding, and that it was items with odd nuclear spin values. Now, I'm not going to go into that here. You can learn more about it at this video located here. It comes in 2 parts, so be sure and watch both the first and the second part. Now, when I discovered this secret, I released it to the world for free. I had been researching the patent office since the early 90s, researching patents on energy systems and then turning my attention to propulsion systems after my own first sighting. After a decade and a half of researching those propulsion systems, I decided to share with the world what I had learned. The video explaining how this all works I posted for free. Those of you that are interested in seeing the various subsets of my work, you can see them at the website ufohowto.com. You can also see them on the books on amazon.com and lulu.com. 2 sets sold the same price. Now, the books are there for the people that want to be able to see the entirety of my research. For the vast majority of people, this isn't going to be necessary. Just seeing the videos that explain how they work is going to do well enough. But for those of you that are interested, the books are there. They're an encyclopedic set. They are, in fact, subdivided into different categories. So if you're interested in learning more about VASMR and plasma propulsion, we've got a book dedicated entirely to plasma thrusters, plasma propulsion systems, Volume 3. If you're interested more in electrogravitics, Volume 2. If you just want an overview of the last 100 years of UFO patents, right here, 100 years of UFO patents. Easy enough. You see how this works? It continues all the way up. Now, not all the books of the UFO How-To series have to do with propulsion. Some of them have to do with power systems. And in particular, Volumes 7, 8, and 9, esoteric power systems, permanent magnet power systems, and hydrogen power systems have to do with technology that can be used and converted for automobiles, boats, airplanes, buildings, homes, anywhere that power and electricity needs to be generated. I hope that you found this video entertaining. I hope that you follow our work. I hope that you see the videos as recommended here. Check out our website, ufohowto.com. Have a great day. Don't get snowed.
Not understood to be in the possession of the United States, China, or Russia.
Not understood to be in the possession of the United States, China, or Russia.